Regan Slaymaker for Not Just Boxing. I have the pleasure to be joined by former world champion TJ Doheny. TJ, I mean this in the nicest possible way. You probably are the most stubborn boxer that has ever been. You pick up a few losses, everyone thinks you don't, but then you go and fight for world titles again. It's great to see you back in the ring Saturday night.
You call me stubborn now, so where's he headed with this?
I meant it in a nice way, as a compliment.
Yeah. Look, I think a lot of it comes down to self-belief, mate. You know, I'm very real about myself. You know, when I watch back tape, if I looked and I go, you know, you have a friend or something, you'd like to tell him, look, mate, it's time to hang them up, you know. But when I'm putting in performances against like that, against a pound for pound number 3, and even before that, I always had that self-belief that I still belong at the top. And obviously the powers that be still believe it as well, because they wouldn't keep presenting me with world title opportunities if they didn't think it. So, I belong here, and I'll keep coming back until the day when I look at the tape and go, all right, come on, TJ, you're slowing down, you know.
Definitely as well. And Nick Ball on Saturday night, another world champion that you're fighting. What do you, apologies you've been asked this 6 times already today, but what do you know about Nick going into this fight?
Look, we've been studying him religiously. You'd be a fool not to going into a world title fight. If I just, to keep it short, you got a really good output, and you got a good engine on him, you know. You kind of, as the rounds go on, he seems to fucking turn it up instead of fading, you know. So I think he's been in there against guys that don't know how to deal with that style of fighting, and it's played right into his hands, and he's been able to outwork them, outdo them, and slowly, like, you know, break their heart. With me, I think he's going to be in there against a very shrewd operator. I know when to fight, I know when to box, I know when to stand and trade. You know, I can take, as long as I take control of the fight on Saturday night, I should be coming out on top.
Definitely as well. I was just talking to your boy off camera whilst you're doing the last interview, and he said Daddy thought he was only going to get 1 world title in his career, and now he's going to get 2. I mean, when your boy's saying stuff like that, it must fill you with a bit of happiness as well, mate.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. You know, there's some mornings there, like, you know, you go in and check on him, and he's in there watching videos of me on YouTube and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's so good. But yeah, he can't remember the first one. He was only 1, so he'll be able to remember this one, you know, so it's going to be very memorable for him.
He definitely will as well. And I want to talk about leading up to the Inoue fight. I want to talk about that in a minute. But you lost to Michael Conlan, and then you pick up those. I mean, those are massive away wins in Japan. Everyone's like, the people who don't know boxing thought you would just put in with the Inoue because you're a former world champion, but you deserved it with those 3 excellent wins on the road. I mean, talk to me. What was that whole period like for yourself? Yeah,
well, I knew I was up against it to get back to championship level. And I remember when I got the phone call to fight Nakajima, I was like, wow, this is what my career's become, a stepping stone for Japanese prospects. Really? I'll show these cunts, you know what I'm saying?
that's the title of this interview.
They sent me an offer, the money was shit. I said, Mike, squeeze another 10k on that and I'm gone. Yeah, we got a camp together, went out there, blasted out their world ranked operator that was like heir to the throne in Japan, and they tied me in to come back against their next best guy, you know. So a guy who they were supposed to was supposed to stop me, you know, and he'd just beaten the guy I wouldn't beat for the world title. He like absolutely destroyed Iwasa, outboxed the ears off him, you know what I mean. So they're probably thinking he was going to do the same thing to me. Round 1, bing, lights out against this prospect that he was giving Inoue really good sparring, and wow. They had high hopes for him, and I put him away in 1 round. They gave me the mic there, and I said I want Inoue next. I'm ranked now, I'm in a good position, and then they got me as a replacement for Neri, because we all know Neri, you know, he might make it, he might not to the fight, you know. But so we went over there as a replacement, but they gave me a little slot on the undercard, just, you know, to compensate me. Neri, I was like sitting there, please miss weight, I wanted that shot. But Neri made weight, so yeah, we done a little a routine win. It was like, they're dodgy as well, these little 8-round nothing fights, you know, because you overlook those guys and, you know, it can set you back for years. I know from losing to Baluta before, but yeah, so, and that was that. And then we thought we were confident we were going to get the Inoue fight. Then there started talks of WBA, or trying to enforce the MJ fight and all this shit, and like the Japanese fans didn't want to see that. Why do you want to fight MJ? Like, and Tapales just beat him, and then Inoue knocked out Tapales, so there wasn't much interest in it. Now I know Eddie Hearn's blowing it up now, and it's becoming a bigger fight than what it would have been back then. There wasn't much attention on it, you know. And plus, it was like Sam Goodman was next in line. He pulled out. There was 8 weeks to go. So that's how I got the slot, you know.
Definitely. And we'll talk about fighting Inoue. I mean, what was it? Was there a different? Obviously, pound for pound number 3. It sounds like a stupid question, but was there a different challenge fighting Inoue? Did he bring anything different that you'd faced before and things like that?
It was hard because we know how big of a puncher he was. So we had to be very mindful in there. Like you got to be defensively sound. And that's what you could see, like early on. I was boxing so silky, I was keeping him at bay, just neutralising him, like putting up some defensive traffic in front of his face so that he couldn't just walk through the door to me, you know. And I think we were doing a really good job of that. And I think round 3 and 4, when I was starting to warm up, I outboxed him in 2 rounds. Like outboxing a pound for pound star at 38 years of age will tell you that the end's not close for me yet, you know. So the challenge coming into it, I knew I was like up against a skill for skill. But when you got power like me, it always kind of, you know, like a little equaliser, you know. Now, we weren't in there like to just swing for the heavens and try and knock him out. It was like, you know, we'd have set traps and it was working and we just didn't get an opportunity to land any clean because he's so smart. But this is why he's a pound for pound fighter, you know. And it was a game of inches in there. It really was a game. He was just always out of the way a little bit, or he was there in a split second kind of a thing. There was times that like somebody attacks, it was just like ding, 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 and he was just throwing punches and bunches and stuff like that. But I did very well to be like deflecting everything. He didn't really catch me clean to the head, you know. But like I was saying before, for him to put my back out with a body shot, it just goes to show the power that he does possess, you know. But yeah, it was unfortunate the way it ended, because you got to live with the what ifs, you know. That I didn't get to just throw it down, throw caution to the wind, and have a go. So then I'm at home just thinking about that, you know. Pulling out with an injury is probably the worst way you can come out of a fight, you know. Apart from like crying because you've had enough. You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no clickbait here, TJ. So I'll leave that one there. But and also I've kept you for long enough. But my final one, we ask everyone who comes on the channel this: when all said and done, what does boxing mean to you?
Oh, it means everything to me. I've got to travel the world as an amateur, as a professional. It's given me the life. It's given my family the life that we live right now. I love the sport, and honestly, if I could box till I was 60, I would box till I'm 60. Honestly, as long as I'm getting the competitive fights and, you know, I'm getting challenges, you know, and like, even though, you know, those ones where they would treat me as a stepping stone, I was a 5-1 underdog in the bookies and knocked them all out, because I know deep down the belief I have in myself, and I know I'm still good enough. But boxing, to me, I love it. The business and all the shenanigans, the politics that goes on behind it, I fucking hate it with a passion. I really do. The powers that be in boxing do my head in. But as a sport, it's given me the life that I get to live, and we live a really comfortable lifestyle, and it's all because of boxing.
Definitely, and what an answer to that question, TJ Doheny. Thank you very much for your time, my friend. Cheers, thank you.